Hello everyone, today's video is about the Kaffir lime and how I am treating it for spider mites. Before I talk about treatment, let's talk about the growing condition for this Kaffir lime. So the growing zones for Kaffir lime are 9 to 10. It can do well in part sun to full sun in a moist environment with well-draining soil. Because my growing zone is 8A, I have to bring it in every winter to overwinter it, otherwise it will die off. So why am I growing this kaffir lime? Well, it's because I am using the leaves for cooking. It is used widely in Southeast Asian cuisines such as curry. So it's important that the leaves are nice and healthy. Again, because this lime is used primarily for its leaves, that's why it's so important to keep the leaves healthy from pests such as spider mites. I have been keeping it healthy, but recently I noticed that it has been infected with spider mites. Before we move on to treatment, let's discuss spider mites. Spider mites like hot, dry environment. It also thrives when a plant is under stress of some sort. What you want to note is that spider mites are related to ticks and spiders. They have 8 legs, and the adults start off with green to orange in color, and then in later generations will be red in color. So I did see a red one, so that is not good because it means these spider mites have gone through many generations already. Now last year was the first time that this plant went through a lot of spider mites infestation. The reason for that is because I had it in the back porch where it gets really hot back there. So because of the extreme heat, the plant was under stress. So that stress invited the spider mites to start multiplying, dividing, or whatever they need to do to get to the next generation. So I had to move it to a new location and spray it. For the most part, it did good going into winter. Coming out of winter, I made sure that it's in a good location, not too sunny, not too shady. I keep the soil moist, and we get humidity here, so I wasn't worried about that. So it must be going through some stress somehow. So I would say in early July, for a good at least 3 weeks, we were in a drought, no rain, and humidity, I would say not too high. That's the only thing I could think of. It started off with the condition here being hot and dry, and then also the fact that maybe I was not doing a regular routine of spraying the leaves with water. Let's take a look at this leaf closely. Do you notice all those yellow spots or markings? Well, that's because they have lost chlorophyll. So they have turned yellow, and sometimes you might see white as well. So what happens is these spider mites, they are very microscopic. You really can't see them until you have a huge population. And what they have done is they are eating the sap on the underside of the leaf, and every marking or every feeding that they do, it would be a removal of the chlorophyll, and you get that on this side. You can see that those markings are dark. You see all those whites right there on the branch, and then also at the base of the leaf. Those are them. That is another sign that you can tell you have an infestation. Later on, if you don't treat it, it's going to get worse, and you will see webbing, and you will see that the leaves will turn either more yellow or more white. Like you will not have any chlorophylls left for the most part. And you will see lots and lots of generations of the spider mites, and they will form like white patches like along the base of the leaf, and it could be somewhere else. I inspected it earlier. Looks like all the leaves seem to be affected. You see right there, that's pretty bad. Last year it was worse than this. I will pop up some images that I found on the internet. Unfortunately, I did not take pictures of the infestation last year. Luckily, it was not as bad as some of the images that you are seeing, but regardless, it was still really bad. Let's talk about treatment now. There are different ways to treat spider mites. You can like Google like how to treat spider mites on Kaffir lime, for example, and you will have lots and lots of information. I went online, and I think the website that I found is called jordanjungle.net, and I'll put it on the screen there for you too. So he came up with a soap mixture, and that's what I did too last year, but I did not follow like an exact ingredient mixture there. I just put soap and I put some water, and that's all I did. So this year I added the extra alcohol. So once you have your spray ready, you can remove the affected leaves. Since I have all the leaves affected as far as I can tell, I am going to remove all of the leaves. And don't worry, the leaves will bounce back, or the leaves will flush back. I did that last year. I was taking a huge risk because I didn't know if they were going to flush back, but they did. So I was thankful for that. So what I'm going to do again this year is remove all the affected leaves and then spray the whole plant. And then I will do it again every 2 to 3 days cycle until I see no more of these spider mites. And the reason you want to do it every 2 to 3 days is because spider mites will create a new generation every 5 to 7 days. So you want to get ahead of them. So I'm going to remove all the leaves, put them in here, spray them all down, tie them all up in this, with these 2 bags that I have here, and then just discard them right away. You will notice that I have isolated this plant from other plants because I do not want to contaminate this pest to other plants if at all possible. All right, I'm going to take out all the leaves right now. And the leaves come out easily too. You don't need a pruner or anything like that. They like to, so they will only infect the underside of the leaves because that's where the sap is. You will notice that with spider mite infestation that they will start off with the bottom leaves and they work their way up. And they start off at the base of the leaf and they make their way up the leaf. But they like to hang out at the base of the leaf where the leaf meets the branch. And that's where you will see webbing and all that. That you'll see like lots of whites and lots of webbings around the base of the leaf and the branch. I'm just going to go ahead and spray as I go. If you have spider mite infestation and it's not a Kaffir lime, make sure you do your research first before removing all of the leaves, because I do not want you to lose your plant from trying to get rid of the spider mites. I took a chance last year without even researching, and thank goodness the leaves came back. So let me show you how to take the leaf off easily. You hold it at the base like that, and you just snap it off this way, not this way. This way would be easier. So hold it firmly and just snap it off that way. So that way you're not going to damage the stem there, or the branch. And be careful not to hurt yourself because of the thorns. So go slowly. All right, now I'm ready to spray this whole plant down with this soap mix. It's important to note that this soap mix will only work on live spider mites, not the eggs. So that's why it's important to spray every 2 to 3 days until you get rid of all the spider mites. And be very careful not to prick yourself with the thorns, because they are very thorny. This is pretty much all that I'm going to do, and just let everything just sit and do it again in 2 to 3 days. And this time I will make sure that I have it on schedule to do it. Now, if you go into that jordansjungle.net, he goes into more detail if you decide not to take out all your leaves, or if you're not able to remove all your leaves, especially if it's a different plant. He tells you to clean your leaves every 2 to 3 days. So, but as far as for me goes, if you have a Kaffir lime, I think it's just good to just get rid of all of the leaves and start fresh. So that way the spider mites don't have anything to feed on, which is very good. It just makes it the process a lot more efficient, and just makes it easier to control the the spider mites going forward. And the leaves will come back, I would say maybe give it a week or two, you should start to see little leaflets start popping up again. So what I'm going to do now is move this plant to a new location away from other plants and just observe it, and then also spray every 2 to 3 days until I see no more signs of spider mites. Hopefully this is all that I need to do to get this plant to be all healthy again. In conclusion, would I recommend growing a Kaffir lime knowing that it is susceptible to spider mites? And the answer is yes. The reason is just because it is a rare edible plant for me here. I haven't seen it being sold anywhere. And then also I don't have a grocery store nearby where I could purchase the leaves. So it is very special to me to have this plant. If you would like to have your own plant, your own Kaffir plant, and your local nurseries do not carry it, I would suggest going to a reputable online company to purchase it. Now, I will say I don't buy any plants online because I just don't like to buy plants online. I just like to be able to go and see it for myself, choose the right one for myself, and all that. So if this was not available, I would just go without it. But in 2021, luckily enough, Home Depot had it for sale, and I knew what it was, so I grabbed it right away. So once you have your Kaffir lime plant, how do you prevent it from getting spider mites? As mentioned, spider mites like that warm, hot, dry environment, and also when your plant is under stress. The solution to prevent spider mites would be to not have any of these conditions. So make sure that you are monitoring and checking the underside of the leaves on a regular basis. Next, if the condition becomes hot and dry, check and monitor the underside of the leaves more often. If the condition becomes dry, you could also mist the plant on a regular basis. Make sure that your plant growing condition is good, and if it's not, make sure you resolve it right away because you don't want the plant to become stressed. A stressed plant will invite spider mites. And finally, what happens when you do get a spider mite infestation, even though you try your best to prevent it? If that's the case, just know that there are so many different options to treat it. Just search online to find the best option for you. For me, the soap mixture is the best option for me because it's convenience, it's inexpensive, and it's something that I already have, like the different ingredients in there I already have at my disposal. And I tried it last year and it works for the most part. And I say for the most part because I did not follow that 2 to 3 day interval because I didn't know about that. Again, I will link Jordan's jungle.net website in the description section down below. And also I will link a website that I found that's really good. That website tells you all things spider mites. So with that, I hope you will never have to deal with spider mites. But if you do, just know that there are resources out there to help you combat spider mites. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it helpful. And until my next video, take care and bye for now.
It's me, the Mario. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe and ring the notification bell so that way you don't miss out on any more content.